recession, selling that crack, yeah. Niggas selling suicide one bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Niggas in the hood wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack, yeah. Niggas selling suicide one bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga.
Greetings, Black family, greetings. Thank y'all for tuning into another episode of the Front Line Blacc News. I'm your host, Chang Kruma. I'm joined by my other host, Lady Che. Say hi to the people, Lady Che. And on the season 3, episode 8 of the Front Line Blacc News, we will be discussing several things. The first thing, of course, is the tangibles. Before that, we should be joined with our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Sankori, any minute, and also our anchorman, Ramel Understanding, who is a political prisoner in the Carl State Mental Hospital. But in the meantime, we will be discussing tangibles 2023 to tangibles 2024. We're not letting up on them tangibles, Black family. We're demanding something tangible for our vote. So any politician that's seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote. The next thing is going to be Tim Scott, that Jimbo Jangles, the coon out of North Carolina, the senator, Tim Scott, announces that he is going to run for president in 2024. Next thing will be Daniel Penny's interview. Daniel Penny is the white supremacist or suspected white supremacist that killed Jordan Neely on the New York subway last month? Yeah, last month or earlier this month. We touched on the Jordan Neely case on previous episodes, and now Daniel Penny wants to do interviews, and we're going to debunk the lies in his interview. I'm going to give you an update on the Lashawn Thompson murder case in Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County Jail. That was the brother, if you recall. We did several shows on him that was killed due to bed bug and insect bites that he sustained while he was in the cell in Fulton County Jail. And he was also dealing with mental illness, so we're going to touch on that, give you an update on that. And then we got Democrats target Ice Cube. Democrats target hip hop mogul Ice Cube or O'Shea Jackson over telling the truth about the Democrats and Blacc America. So we're going to touch on that. We send a big rest in power to Tina Turner. She died this week at 83 from stomach cancer. We're going to touch on that. And then we got there was a young black boy who was shot by the police in Mississippi. We're definitely going to touch on that. And then we got a Aurora Blacc man suing Aurora Police Department for violating his civil rights in 2021 during a traffic stop. And then we got Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So, Black family, this is the year and the decade of tangibles. We're demanding something tangible for our vote. Any politician that's seeking your vote at the local, state, federal level, demand something tangible. The days are over of us just voting just to be voting, or voting because the white-owned media told us to go out and vote, or we got fear-mongered into voting. Anybody but so-and-so. We got to get so-and-so out. Any of that madness that y'all were talking in 2020, 2019, and previous to that, 2016. We're not falling for it no more. Demand something tangible for your vote, Black family. And there, as I speak, our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Sankori. Greetings from the Mile High Income.
Hey, what's going on with you here? Greetings from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all been on for 10 minutes. Oh, okay. So what's going on? What's the stuff? Okay, all right. So what's the subject for tonight?
The subjects for tonight, Shabaka, are, of course, the tangibles. Can you mute the TV?
Right. Could I do what?
Mute the TV.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Wait, gotta find. Yeah, okay, because. Okay. All right, what about now?
Much better. So we got tangibles. Of course, we got the tangibles 2023, 2024.
Right.
We got that goddamn coon, Tim Scott, Senator of
North Carolina. Man. Yeah, he's sick, man.
Decides that he wants to run for president. And also, I forgot to add the panties announces.
Oh, yeah.
In 2024.
Yeah, I did a YouTube video yesterday putting it up there. I'm surprised, they're having block me or suspend me, but I haven't seen it anywhere. So they shadow banned it, and Rick DeSantis.
They'll probably put a community note on it. They'll probably put a community note because that's what they do. What they did to Rick DeSantis when he exposed that suspected white supremacist for trying to steal that brother's bike that he had paid for.
Okay.
So we got that, and then we got Daniel Penny, the suspected white supremacist who killed Jordan Neely on a New York subway earlier this month.
Right.
Interview and it was lies by omission.
Okay.
And then we got an update on the Lashawn Thompson murder case in Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County Jail. And then we got that's the brother that was eaten alive by bed bugs and other insects.
Right.
Democrats target Ice Cube, aka O'Shea Jackson.
What's up with Cube? What's up with Cube?
Well, he told the truth about the Democrats, Shabaka. And, they hate that.
Right.
They're trying to paint him as a Trumpster. They try to say that he was supporting Trump. And he literally publicly stated he was not supporting either Trump or Biden.
Right. Okay.
To meet with him. And Jim Crow Biden told him he would meet with him after the election.
Right, which he never did.
Hasn't met with him. And it's been 3 years. So we still wait on you
Yep.
goddamn Biden supporters. Yes, you. Because
Right.
y'all voted for Biden to call into
Right.
Shabbat Enhanced every Tuesday and every
Right.
Friday. And the number is
Yeah. And the number.
516-418-5996.
That's right.
We got
That's right.
we lost a legend this week. Tina Turner dies at 83.
Yeah. Yeah. Sad. Very, very sad. And if I'm not mistaken, Brother Che, I think when I was about 14 or 15 years old, when I was in the Crenshaw district, this would be in the mid 1970s, I think I saw Tina Turner. Was Tina Turner known for driving a white Jeep?
I think so, Shabaka. I'm not 100% sure, but
All
I
right.
think so.
Okay, if she was, then it was her that I saw.
And then we got
Because
the
she and Ike Turner.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. What about
Yeah,
Ike
because
Turner?
I was going to say, yeah, Ike and Tina Turner, as you know, used to live in the Baldwin Hills,
Yes.
which is right above the Crenshaw district. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it might have been a distinctive possibility. I've seen it now. Now getting off topic, I do want to mention this right here about that Rebuild LA project after the rebellion in 1992. They still ain't built nothing over there. That shit is still all vacant, man. You know what I'm saying? And even still got rubble piled up, man, going on. What has it been now? 32 years now? Yeah. Yeah, 32 years, 1992. No, 1 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to put that out there with the city of Los Angeles and their shenanigans, which Karen Bass, you know, is a part of, you know.
Yeah,
But
and then
not getting off topic. Yeah.
we got the young black boy shot by police in Mississippi.
Oh yeah, the 11-year-old.
Yeah. And then we got a Aurora Black man suing APD, Aurora Police Department, for violating his civil rights in 2021 during a traffic
Okay.
stop. And then we got our Unhoused Neighbor
Okay.
News and our Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps.
Okay. Okay.
So I was just getting us started with the
All
tangible.
right.
Popped in. I was just telling the viewers
Right.
to demand something tangible for your vote at the local, state, and federal level.
Yes, sir, and particularly in this election that's coming up in 2024, because I do believe now is the time to do it, to demand our tangibles, something strict for us, right along with the reparations as well, too. As for the simple fact is, I just got a weird feeling that this 2024 election is going to be a key game changer, just like with the 1972 election was. Okay, now as we all know,
correct me if I'm wrong, but that was between Jimmy Carter, Heward Humphrey, and
no,
Chisholm.
no, sir. Okay, the 1972 election in the presidential election was between Richard Nixon and George McGovern.
Oh,
okay.
And McGovern, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And what had happened was that Nixon won every state, and McGovern was the senator from Montana, and he lost his own state. I mean, it was bad. It was worse than Reagan and Carter in 1980. But Ronald Reagan was nothing but a precursor to Donald Trump. You know, 40 years earlier, is because, as you know, Reagan was the former governor of California, and of course we know what he did with his shenanigans. Now the dump, as in human shit, and I want to make that perfectly clear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He stands a good chance of getting reelected. This is just theory. All this is theoretical of what I'm about to say. On the Republican side, Tim Scott, he might as well, you know, start sucking Trump's dick and shining his shoes and going down there to Mar-a-Lago and work for free and all that. Ain't got a chance in hell. But the panties, okay, is dangerous. Now, the panties is playing on all this anti-black fervor that's going on with this critical race theory, as he referred to it as. Also, too, the panties has been taking all kind of school books, out of the Florida public school system. I'm talking about by huge bin loads. He's taking them all out. All the African studies books, various other books. You know what I'm saying? And it's just downright incredible of what the panties is doing. Okay, because it's flat out censorship. And didn't they say in that hypocritical document that you could wipe your ass with, man, talking about freedom of the press? Yeah, to quote Dr. King, I once read that there was freedom in the press. I once read that all men were created equal. I once read, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But there was another man who was a contemporary of Dr. King's, okay, who stated that he was sitting at a lunch counter begging for a cup of coffee. Okay. Second of all, the most unprotected woman in the United States of America is the black woman. Okay. But quite naturally, of course, they don't want knowledge of that brother. And they certainly don't want knowledge, of another contemporary of his at the time who was inspired by Malcolm. You all know who that was. That brother out of Oakland, California. You know what I'm saying? Who came up with point number 7. We want an immediate end to police brutality and the murder of unarmed black people. Okay. The hypocritical court system, I believe it was a court of appeals, the district court, one of the federal district courts had stated that California might be in violation of the Second Amendment with the Mulford Act that was signed in 1968. But the U.S. Supreme Court is yet to pick it up. And as you know, the U.S. Supreme Court selects the cases that they hear. So just because it's in a federal appellate court, you see what I'm saying, does not automatically mean that the U.S. Supreme Court, will look at it. You see, so this is the hypocrisy of your federal judicial system. And what was the black Supreme Court female justice, Ketanji Brown or Ketanji whatever? Huh?
The one that couldn't define what a woman was.
The U.S. Supreme Court justice, right? The one that's hooked up there with the white fella.
Ketanji, we call her Ketanji because she's a goddamn Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Right. So what she needs to do, what Mrs. Jackson needs to do, is drop her first name. Anytime that you take upon an ancestral name, there's a certain code of conduct that goes with that, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion. All right. Is because if you do not have a consciousness to enhance the reason why you have dropped the name of the slave trader, you see what I'm saying? Then something is wrong. You see, this is serious business. This is chess, not checkers. You see, tangibles 2024, tangibles 2028, tangibles 2032, tangibles 2036, tangibles 2040, and all the way up to tangibles 2100. We owe this here to our youth. You see what I'm saying? To make the world a better place, you see. And those who have been downtrodden on, such as us, we got to establish and reconnect with who we are to make progress. You see what I'm saying? And that's so
I got to get us started for us. I'm going to be here all night. I was going to go Tangibles 2020. Back in 2020, by the name of Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed and the whole FBA family.
Right.
We weren't able to make the expo this year. I really wanted to go. I really planned on going, but we weren't able to make it this year, Black family. But we've seen some of the highlights, and it looked like it was a very eventful and good event. So shout out to the whole FBA family and everybody that was able to go down to Dallas for the FBA Expo. So back in 2020, Tariq Nasheed came out with the Tangibles 2020. And in it, he was detailing everything that foundational Black Americans, sense of American child slavery, were going to demand from the political structure. So both the two-party system, the Democrats and the Republicans, or as we call them, the Democrats and the Republicans.
Yeah, exactly.
So nothing's changed with the year. Everything remains the same. The only thing that's different is the year. So the next presidential election is going to be in 2024. So we're going to change 2020 to 2024, but everything else remains the same. So the 2024 presidential elections are coming up. And foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old, now it's like 54 years, 53-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the political system.
Mm-hmm.
This malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms, lumping foundational Black Americans into groups with minorities, immigrants, people of color, etc., has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this election cycle, meaning in the 2024 election cycle, or even closer to home here in Denver, the 2023 election cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. I think that's
Front Line campaign.
Hold on, Anchorman. I'm in the middle of a speech. In this election cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits specifically for us. We do not want trickle-down secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups who often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans, or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this message far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. And since it's 2023, it's Tangibles 2023. And next year, when the presidential election occurs, it'll be Tangibles 2024. So thank you for joining us, our Anchorman, who was a political prisoner.
You know, we do the news and we do the Black experience from yesterday to today and backwards and forwards. You already know what it was.
Yes, sir. And we know what it does. So, what are your thoughts? Let's hear from Lady Che first because she's been real quiet. What are your thoughts on the tangibles, Lady Che?
Well, it's 2023, and there's no reason to act, like you're still asleep when you've been getting the news and it's been getting hard and heavy out here. So, if you're going to vote, don't vote Democrat and vote for reparations. Vote for vote for actual tangibles. They can write it down, do whatever, but they got to start to show and prove, or else. I know. They got to show and prove. Oh, shit. They got to show and prove, or else they don't get your vote. I'm kind of on the non-trusting of anything Democratic right now, so, or Republican, or anything really.
Demon rat.
Basically vote for reparations, and nothing symbolic, tangible, simple as that. No reparations,
Right.
that's it.
Cut the goddamn check. All right, what are your
Pretty
thoughts?
much. Okay, my thoughts here is that once again is that we got to control our own economical resources, cut the damn check at the state level of California, at the federal level, and all the other southern states where our people have shedded their blood or been the victim of this discrimination, who's been the victim of this hatred or this historical hatred of the United States toward our people. Then, not to mention the
Victims
fact,
of chattel
as you
slavery. We got to start there, Shabaka, because everybody
oh,
going to
absolutely.
say we're victims of discrimination. We got to start with
Yeah,
the
oh yeah.
the,
Yeah,
the
the chattel
America's
slavery,
oldest
most
sin, chattel
definitely.
slavery, and then we
Yes,
move
sir.
on to
And I'm
Jim Crow,
right.
and then
And then you
mass
got to move
incarceration.
on. And then the mass incarceration, and then also too, you got to go with the let's see, old frog face. He used to say segregation today, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, and correct me if I'm wrong on the timeline, you had the slavery, then you had the quote unquote Reconstruction era, and then as you said, you had the birth of the Ku Klux Klan,
Mhm.
brought to you by the Democratic Party. No,
Yeah,
I'm
that
sorry. Yeah,
goddamn
brought to you
Nathan
by the
Forrest out of
yeah, yes,
Tennessee.
sir. Brought to you Yes, sir, who brought to you by the Democratic Party, and then also to the Jim Crow era, and then also to not to mention the fact of all the horrible lynchings that had happened to our people since then, as Billie Holiday and Nina Simone had sung called "The Strange Fruit."
Fruit.
Okay. And then, of course, we're not going to talk about, or we should talk about, the place where I grew up at, Los Angeles, California, that has the one and only Hollywood, and a very, very salute of respect to Mr. Terrence Howard of
Yes.
giving it up, So hopefully the brother has went on and made his money and whatnot, but he's out there on the island is because he's tired of black men being effeminized in motion pictures, and they trying to effeminize black men all across the agenda. And then you even got pro athletes, supporting this bullshit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
the Dwayne
And then
Wade.
yeah, exactly. Okay, and the problem is once again back to the Jim Crowism, well, the slaves are the pro athletes, and the plantations is the basketball courts, the football fields, the
Mhm.
boxing arenas, and me, just like any other man, we all love the human drama of
And
athletic
the trash or the
competition.
auction blocks.
Exactly. And auction blocks is when they have draft day. Those are the auction blocks. You see what I'm saying?
But
When they
let's
have the
get a
NFL.
few words from the anchor man, because we got a
Yes,
lot of
sir.
topics to get to. But I appreciate your
Yes,
commentary
sir.
and your insights. Anchor man, what are your thoughts on tangibles 2023, 2024?
Well, first of all, in regards to tangible, if you ain't know what it was and you ain't know what it does, and you don't know what it is, and you don't know what it did, I don't want a handout. I want to hand off so I could make a touchdown for the winning team, the home team. You know what I'm saying? I need that American green, not that American dream or that American scheme. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's really what I'm on.
Right.
Show me the money.
Yes, sir.
Right. Cut the goddamn check.
That's right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? I want
Exactly.
proof so that way I could provide for my youth.
Yeah.
And that's on the real.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shit, for real. You know what I mean? That's what we are, man. We need something substantial. We need something of a physical composition. We need something that says in God we trust, and that's a must. And that's all I got to say.
Already. Thank you.
Indeed.
Sending this towards you, babe. All right, so I'm gonna move us along. Demand something tangible, black family, period. Reparations, $100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities that have been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people in 2023. So the next topic.
Yes, sir.
Your boy, Shabaka.
Who's that?
Tim Scott
Oh boy, it's sickening. You know what I'm saying? That stymie ass looking motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at this bastard. Republican, South Carolina. Motherfucker look just like Stymie out the damn Little Rascals, our gang. Early Hollywood jigaboo ass movie, skinning and grinning, you know what I'm saying? Ass scratching, yassa bossing. You know, being a homie kind of nigga. You know what I'm saying? And what is sad now, and this is a case of where Smokey Robinson had made a record, "You Gotta Laugh to Keep from Crying," in the early
Yeah.
'60s, at the height of the civil rights era, we might add.
Black
Okay,
Empowerment era, yeah.
guys, yes, sir. Okay. This dude, man, just like Kamala Harris, man, just like Elders and Leo Terrell, we have to turn our back on him, man. And
Candace
what I
Owens.
mean by turning them, that's the only thing we can do to be effective with it, man, because we cannot let these ass scratches go up there and be misrepresenting us.
The
Okay.
Congressional
The
Black
panties,
Caucus.
waste of
Oh, what
time, waste of taxpayer
yeah.
dollars. And I'm dead serious. What they need to do with that crew right there is the money that them pay them no good ass politicians. What is it, $200,000 a year, I think? And how
Yeah,
many of them suckers is in there? Like about 300 of them, I think.
I don't think it's that
No,
many.
I don't many. Yeah, okay, okay. Would it be safe to say
It's
about
100
200?
senators and it's what
Right.
is it? 435
5
representatives.
of the representatives. Yeah. Okay, so the
Out of
U.S. Senate.
that, out of the Senate, I mean, I think it's maybe 10 black senators, and out of the
Okay.
House of Representatives, it might be 100.
Okay, so that's 104 of these fools, right?
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. Okay, so what it is that we got to make some type of political statement
110,
of
yeah.
us. Okay, on a collective basis. Okay, is that it's got to be known that these fools do not represent us, and then also too, when fools come to us on Stinky Bird, you know, from across the aisle, as they say. Okay, just delete and block them tricks. Same thing on Facebook as well too, because I've been checking the friends requests and I'm seeing porno tramps up there again. You know what I'm saying? And
Man.
yeah. Those are viruses. And there's probably some damn dudes who are confused about their sexuality with that shit. And it is spam and it is viruses contained off
Yeah.
in that, is because when I was getting all that bullshit in the mid teens, you know, 2016, 2015 and all that, I would screenshot the photo and then I would write rejected right across it, and I tell Zuckerberg, hey man, you know, get this broad about my inbox. Then again, it might not even be a broad, you know what I mean? Because them motherfuckers are so confused over there in the Bay Area, man. You know,
Oh
they
my
thinking
God.
that men are women.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
see, so
I seen one of those
those
today
all are,
here in Denver, Shabaka. I was like, that's a
yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, you could tell because you don't see no estrogen. Straight out. You don't see no estrogen. Okay. And the reason that you don't see no estrogen is because it is a damn man. Okay. Which is his business.
You got to leave
Dress up all you want.
in the family and all that shit.
Oh my God. You got to get the birth
Trace their
certificate.
lineage.
You
You
got
gotta
to get the
Yeah.
baby pictures, Ramel. You got to get the baby pictures at this point. It's so fucked
Oh
off.
yeah.
And they don't even have to
Oh
disclose.
yeah.
If you call them by their real name, they call it dead naming. If you call them by their real name, like I have a cousin, you might know him, Ramel, but his name is Dante, but he goes by Tay. And he's one of those. And if I called him Dante, they would say I was dead naming him.
What the fuck is that?
Wow.
Calling them by their original biological name.
Oh,
Damn.
I I'm not hit, man. I mean, shit. I've been in the cave for the last 8 years, man. I don't know what's going on, man.
Oh, I'm bringing you up to speed, Ramel. So that's what they that's what they call on it, dead naming.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the sad part there too.
Change their records now. So that's why I say you got to go back to the baby pictures at this point, because you could be dating.
Yeah.
Daddy, family,
you got to meet the whole family, all that. Yeah.
All that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But getting back to this coon ass Tim Scott, he was one of the many senators. I think it was just senators. I don't think it was any House of Representatives. But they said that America wasn't a racist country. It was him, Kamala Harris, and another
Warlock.
It might have been Warlock or Bojangles.
I think it was Warlock. Yeah.
And we know goddamn well, Black family, this is everything except a racist country. It's so racist that we spell America with a triple K.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And then to all you assholes.
When you look at their eyes, when you look at them white people's eyes, just imagine them with a cloak over their head.
Yeah. And then look at this. You might as well have put a hood on him. Because watch what he's about to say. Watch what this coon ass.
God. Let me prepare myself.
Where Dave Chappelle plays the brother that I think he's white.
Yes. He was in whiteface.
But the one that killed me, behold it, but the clip that killed me was the 35-year-old black man who says that he's white. You know what I mean?
God, that's like Uncle Ruckus. That's like Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks.
Oh, that's worse.
But I gotta play the video. Prepare yourself for this bullshit here.
Okay, let's hear it.
When America comes together, we've made tremendous progress, but powerful forces want to pull us apart. 100 years ago, kids in classrooms were taught the color of their skin was their most important characteristic. And if they looked a certain way, they were inferior. Today, kids are being taught that the color of their skin defines them again. And if they look a certain way, they're an oppressor. From colleges to people are making money and gaining power by pretending we haven't made any progress at all, by doubling down on the divisions we've worked so hard to heal. You know this stuff is wrong. Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country. It's backwards.
Nigga, you are sick.
With different types of discrimination, and it's wrong to try to use.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks that. Because I was like, what the fuck?
I mean,
what are you talking about?
Okay, then what they need to do is get this nigga, man, a star on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, it gets worse, Chewbacca. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, God. Nah, let's see it, man. So, and I just finished eating dinner, too, and I hope I don't vomit.
Man, I hope I don't make you throw up your dinner.
Yeah.
He just announced. Now, look at this crowd, y'all, before I even play the video.
Yeah.
How many black people do you count?
Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah. 3. Yeah, that fool, Tim Scott, and the sister right here.
So
there's
a coon behind Tim Scott.
Right.
I play the video, you'll see it. You'll see him. And then there's another coon over here in the corner.
Ben Carson.
Oh, God.
No, Ben Carson on dope, man. Ben Carson's on dope. He's been writing his own prescriptions, man.
Mr. Getting high on his own supply. Man,
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then too, and keep in mind too, that they did have an initiative in California about 6 years ago where a doctor could not write his own prescriptions.
yeah, that's
You
long
know,
overdue.
what's the name of that other dude that run with Jesse Jackson?
Oh my
He
god.
goes on MSNBC and all that.
Oh my god. It's so
Not
many.
Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
He got the slick out. Yeah, Al Sharpton. Yeah.
Yeah, he got an
Oh man,
organization called NAM, Ramel and Shabaka National Action Network.
called who?
They try to start that National Action Network. They tried to start that shit in Denver. They sent me an invitation for that shit. I never accepted it. I'm like, oh hell.
Man, Al Sharpton belongs in jail, man. You know what I'm saying? They need to go
Yeah.
hook and book Al Sharpton. Throw his ass, man, in a mental institution. Put him on meds, man. You know what I'm saying? With his big old bobbleheaded looking ass.
Then Carson be on the same.
And then,
He said one of his quotes was that he was glad that we got brought over as slaves,
Oh my
so we
god.
could become Christians.
Okay, so let me get to the video.
okay.
So this cone
Uh-uh.
announces that he is running for president of the United States or United Snakes of America with a triple K
Mhm.
in 2024. So prepare yourselves for this madness.
I am. I know it's
Live
bad.
in the land of opportunity. We live in the land where it is absolutely possible for a kid raised in poverty, in a single parent household, in a small apartment, to one day serve in the people's house. And maybe even the White House. This is the greatest nation on God's green earth. Today, I'm thinking back to my grandfather, born in 1921 in Sally, South Carolina, in the Deep South. By the time he was in the 3rd grade, he was forced out of school. His education was over, and he was forced to start picking cotton. But my grandfather lived long enough to watch his grandson pick out a seat in Congress. That's the evolution of the country we live in. My family went from cotton to Congress in his lifetime. And it was only possible because my grandfather had a stubborn faith. Faith in God, faith in himself, and faith in
Hold
what
on, y'all.
America
I'm gonna leave
would
lady.
be. He looked beyond the pain of his present, and he saw the promise
Oh, what
of
up,
his
Joko?
future. That
Joko.
black man who saws out now in the goodness
Listen to this
of
clownery and
America.
buffoonery. This is embarrassing me.
Man,
I was 7 years old when my parents divorced. We moved in with my grandparents, my mom and my brother. We all three shared one bed and one bedroom in that
We got to get to
700
the
square
madness,
foot rental home.
Ramel.
Well, my grandfather said to me, son,
No, I got a request.
you can be
Hold
bitter
on, Ramel. It's almost over.
or you can be better, but you can't be both. You see, he chose patriotism over pity. He focused on the windshield of his life and not on the rearview mirror. And today, I'm living proof that America is the land of opportunity and not a land of oppression.
man, go sit your fat, bald-headed ass down somewhere, you stymie-looking motherfucker, man. Man, that's an
What are they
insult to my
cheering
I'm
intelligence.
about?
announcing today
Cuz? What are they cheering about?
that I'm running
What the fuck?
for president of the United States of America.
Okay. Okay, putting all
Hi, everyone.
bullshit aside.
All right, hold it down, Lady Shay.
Okay.
Hold on, y'all.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay, putting all bullshit aside, man.
Ramel,
A
I
motherfucker
gotta.
like that is dangerous.
No, you gotta stay on camera because I gotta make a run for Lady Che real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. Go ahead, Lady Che. Hold it down.
I was like, man, tomato. That shit is.
I got a requisition.
What?
Oh my God, what, Ramel?
I just want a small video from Elijah Muhammad saying that the white man's dead.
All right, we'll
Yes,
work on it,
please.
Ramel. Go ahead, Shabaka. Not Shabaka, Lady Che.
No, Lady Che.
I just feel like, why does he decide he want to run now? All the times, and we've been having a serious conversation because I think like earlier in the week, if I don't remember, it was like earlier in the week, when I ran the RVA, I think they said he had made the most money, or he had the most money, and I was like, wow, like he had all the money, like he had like straight liquid more than anybody else, and I was like, whoa. But then we later on in the week, DeSantis he announced too, and his shit was a major fail. His shit was an epic fail. So I don't know. I just think that what are we supposed to be celebrating with Tim Scott? Tim Scott barely does. He doesn't even say words like black. What are we celebrating?
Fuck him.
Like he's not gonna do nothing for black people.
Pretty much.
No.
Nothing he said in
He's
any of
only
that
used
shit.
as a stooge, man.
Yeah, none of that shit he said had anything to do with black people. There was
But
only
you're right.
people there. The rest of the people were Hispanic or white. That shit bothers me too. It's like, well, are you going to do anything for black people? Are you going to say the word black? The real shit. He didn't say nothing, anything black. So I don't know what the fuck everybody's celebrating. And how does
Well, see, that's just
black vote?
okay. That's just it, though, Lady Che. What that clown is just that is a clown, and putting on serious, putting our bullshit aside on the serial. So it is extremely sad of what this individual is doing. This Uncle Tim Scott. And what's even sadder is that the majority of our people in your age group is looking at this shit as progress. And with me being an old bastard, right? A motherfucker like that is the biggest counterman to our progress. Him, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, fuck all of them. Okay, these are opportunistic poverty pimps. Okay, is because he's not going to do nothing for the black community of South Carolina. I doubt if he did anything of any significance for him. He's not going to do anything for black people in the United States. He's not going to do for anything for black people in the diaspora. Just like Kamala Harris up out of California. See, this is what I call the Leo Terrell, Larry Elders syndrome. Okay. Just because these niggas went up there and got him a law degree, and keep in mind, I appreciate the accomplishment. Michelle Obama got a law degree. Barack Obama has a law degree. Uncle Tim's coon right here, I'm sure he has one. Okay. But as Dr. Carter J. Woodson had said almost 100 years ago, you got education and you got miseducation. These clowns that we just mentioned right here are a classic example of miseducation. Is because even Dr. King had said that toward the end of his life, when he was murdered in 1968, is that he made a mistake and he was man enough to admit his mistake. He led our people into a burning house with integration. And clowns like that Tim Scott, Warnock, Warlock, other fool out there. No, you niggas ain't gonna get no goddamn reparations. You don't deserve it and all that. Okay, you're dangerous. You are a threat to our very, very survival. They are spitting on the graves of those who made the ultimate sacrifice in the civil rights movement and in the Black empowerment era. Okay, it's because a lot of our people made the ultimate sacrifice in both of those movements. Those fire hoses on our people, the police dogs on our people. Okay, and then the minister, you know what I mean. If I put his life on the line and died at the age of 39, same thing with Dr. King, died at the age of 39. Neither one of those men saw the age of 40. And with me being way over the age of 40 is that, like Brother Che just said, like Tariq Nasheed just said, we need some fucking tangibles. It's because if they're gonna cut all this money for all these motherfuckers coming here illegally, and then they're gonna send them to the city of Chicago, where they're going inside the Chicago Police Department, sleeping on the floor, sleeping on the floor, and that there's a direct slap to our people in the city of Chicago, because you got a lot of our people sleeping on the floors in the Cook County Jail. You got a lot of our people sleeping on the floors in the LA County Jail. But these motherfuckers is going up there sleeping right in the lobby of the Chicago Police Department, and punks like Eric Adams or Karen Bass, London Bridge in San Francisco, or the mayor of Atlanta down there. I mean, if Black people had their own nation, right, and our own set of laws, right, all these individuals that we have just mentioned right here, including this fool that Brother Parrish just showed right there, that's treason against the Black state. That is straight out fucking treason. Because the only thing what you're doing is that he is co-signing and enhancing our destruction. Now, Dr. Claude Anderson told us this here 10 years ago. Brother Parris enlightened me on that. And everything that Dr. Claude Anderson has said 10 years ago, well, we're going to be the minority, and we're going to be hated by everyone. Hey, look what happened to our man Jordan Neely. And then the white supremacist who killed him says, I didn't do anything wrong. You just went up here and murdered a man, and you didn't do anything wrong. And then the sad part about the photograph of Mr. Neely, in one of the still photographs, you could tell that he was dead, by his eyes. They were dead. Also, too, there was one photograph where he was laying face down, and you could see, if you look closely, that Mr. Neely had defecated on himself. Okay, just like when George Floyd was being murdered. But no, say that again. Yeah, go ahead, Lady Che.
The video when dude was doing that, the white man had a smile on his face. He was smiling. The second thing I'll say about this is that we showed a video where Mr. Neely was on the train right before it happened, and he wasn't menacing or yelling or none of that.
So exactly. And then keep in mind, is that the guy, what's his name, Danny what, that killed him. I know his first name is Danny. This is what happens when you get old. Okay. Well, anyway, the killer of Mr. Jordan Neely. Okay. You could see that he got gratification out of killing him. Okay. This here is the trait of a psychopath. Okay. Is because you do have those who get pleasure out of killing. You see what I mean? Saying, okay, hold on 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, no, we're doing a StreamYard. Yeah, we're doing a StreamYard. Okay. Oh, glasses. Okay, thank you, Terry.
Commander Major.
What case, Chewbacca?
All right, I'm back.
Right.
Hey, I have to warm everything up. That takes time. You ain't the only one hungry.
I just got to go to show you. What did Chewbacca get at the door? Inquiring minds want to
He
know.
probably got Uber Eats or something.
He got quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, he did. Are you still with us, Chewbacca?
Chewbacca forgot he was on the show. He was like, he got his food. He's like, yeah, whatever. Screamer, man.
Hey, can I call you Commander Majors?
Yes.
Commander Majors. That has a good ring to it.
Especially about the man. Man, definitely have a good ring to it.
We're the gender. She's the commander.
The agenda is the Black agenda.
Yeah.
All right, so you know TBA had to go in on this, so he did a show. Guess the name of the show, Ramel. The title of the show.
What?
It says the Republican Boat Lick Lottery.
That's pretty much about the size of it. Yeah, and got me some new glasses just right here. Now I can see. See, this is what happens when you get old, Sonny. You got to get you some spectacles, you know what I mean?
With the lenses.
Yeah, got to get you some spectacles, you know. Okay, now, is that what I'm saying?
Hold on, Chewbacca.
We gotta listen to
We gotta
Yeah.
get to TBA.
Okay.
You got to be president. Just around the
This is so good.
Yeah, Lady Che is grubbing on a burger right now.
I can't remind my own business.
Okay.
I didn't tell
And I
you
see
what
Joe
I'm doing.
Cool here says that Congress is an embarrassment. Yeah, he's right. Congress is an
Jughead Crown
embarrassment.
into the ring, hoping for approval. Everyone, long time
Yeah,
lick
Joe-
Tim
Joe
got the
Cool
man
is
who
having
never got the
Chicago
memo and
somebody.
never got the phone call.
Oh, the professor.
It's about
He's an
Yeah,
officer for their
Professor.
wrongdoings. Curtain froze up.
Yeah,
Take the thing off. Take the thing off the top. The blue thing.
The crusher.
another wake up call. This jackass, he thinks he's running for president. He's not. He thinks he is, but he ain't. Nobody told him, Tim, you ain't running for president. You're just filing paperwork and paying the $2,500 fee. You ain't running for nothing. You're just, apparently somebody got, Joe Biden must have gave Tim Scott some of his crack. That's all I can imagine. Joe Biden slid some of his crack or his meth over to Tim Scott. And Tim is like,
Yeah.
damn, there's an 8-ball. Oh, that was good.
Fucking nose.
They got him on a wild ass Friday, and he's just like, man, I'm floating off this 8-ball. Let me go fill out some paperwork for president. I think I can get president.
Damn. Yeah,
He
he
messed around
good
and filled out the
fucked
paperwork
up.
before
Yeah.
he came down off his high. Yeah, he messed around and filled out the paperwork before he came
Damn.
down. Off his high until he got lit up. Like, oh man, I think I can make it.
All right, look like I'm gonna have to put this phone in an ice box for a minute, you guys. Yeah, he's starting to rise in temperature a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, but Yeah, old Uncle Tim Scott right there. Yeah. Wow. And like I said before, it's very, very sad for all of our people in the civil rights movement and in the Black empowerment era, that made the ultimate sacrifice to see clowns like this right here. And then, of course, you got these other ass scratchers out here. You know what I'm saying? And Sister Stacey Abrams. Yeah. Yeah, well, they didn't want her to be the governor of Georgia. But the thing is what's going to happen is, folks, I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime, but at this stage of the game, as I'm calling it, I'm hoping I'm wrong, is that we are our own worst enemies. Hey, is anybody else here, man, or am I ghost talking or what?
Okay, we're having technical difficulties over here.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. We're having technical difficulty, family.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, that's them, shadow banning us, all that bullshit is, like with our platform, they shadow banning us. These motherfuckers in Silicon Game Valley know exactly what the fuck they doing with this artificial intelligence. So this is how they trying to throw a monkey wrench in our works. And but they put assholes like Tim Scott up there in front of you. Okay, we back on. All right, let me.
Shabaka, we're having technical difficulties.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna log out and sign back in.
No, we need him to stay in.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll stay in.
Isn't that gonna be y'all? Oh, Tim getting ready to go Black Panther up in here. Tim is gonna have a beret and a leather jacket and an armband and black gloves and some sunshades. Oh, Tim about to flip out when they get done with him. Oh, Tim's about to flip out. He ain't gonna be able to handle this. He's not gonna be able to handle it. It's gonna break his soul. It's gonna shatter his psyche. Tim is not gonna make it, y'all. He ain't gonna make it. They get done with him, boy, Tim is gonna be the biggest black radical in Washington. He's gonna come there on the Senate floor playing NWA. He's gonna be wearing an X t-shirt playing NWA. Oh, it's gonna be ugly when they get through with Tim. It's gonna be ugly. All right. The GOP senator launched a $6 million ad campaign in key presidential primary states on Friday ahead of a scheduled campaign announcement May 22nd. Scott joins former President Donald Trump in the race for their party's nomination. Trump launched his third White House bid in mid-November.
On the computer.
Following Scott's filing for a presidential run, the South Carolina Democratic Party chair promised to hold him accountable for his record. Here in South Carolina, we know how dangerous Tea Party extremist Tim Scott is. And based on the last few weeks, the rest of America is finding out too, said Crystal Spain.
Video's not going to play while it restarted.
From promising to sign the most conservative abortion ban possible as president. Okay, that's not dangerous, ma'am. To doubling down on his role as architect of the 2017 GE tax scam. Baby, if this is the best you got, you might as well go ahead and leave him alone now. That pushed tax cuts for the ultra wealthy at the expense of working family or field. Yeah, the South Carolina Democratic Party, yeah, y'all need a new spokesperson. If she's the best you can do, you need a new spokesperson. You really, really do. Thank you very much, Nancy King, in the super chat. You are amazing, too. By the way, can you all read the lettering on here? Can you read this lettering here? Tim Scott is going all out, y'all. He's going all out. Senator Tim Scott, a Republican from South Carolina, speaks. This photograph is him speaking during the Republican Jewish Coalition annual leadership meeting in Las Vegas on November 19, 2022.
Was it good?
Mm-hmm.
The Republican Jewish Coalition, and he didn't jump out there in front of them. I wonder if he offered Republican Jews the same thing that he offers black folk. I wonder if he went there offering them the same thing that he offers us. Or if he went there offering something a bit different. I wonder. Got a feeling that he went there and was speaking to them radically different than the way he speaks to us. I got a feeling that's what it was. I got a feeling it wasn't the same thing he says to everyone. Pretty sure when he got in front of them, he was talking like he had some sense. Pretty sure when he got there, he was talking like he had some sense to them. Wonder if he gave them the pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing, and Israel needs to pull itself up by its bootstraps. I wonder if he gave them that talk. Israel doesn't need a handout.
Right.
Do you all think he gave them that talk?
No.
Do you think he told them that
Hell
Israel
no.
doesn't need a handout? Anybody think he told them that?
Mm-mm.
Hey, Israel, get out of our pockets. You don't need a handout. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Get your house in order and pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah.
You don't need the military assistance of the U.S. You should be able to take care of this on your own.
Right.
Shouldn't you be able to do this by yourselves?
You do it by yourselves.
Just checking. Just checking. Scott also becomes the second politician from South Carolina, the state that holds the third contest in the Republican presidential nominating calendar, to launch a presidential campaign following former two-term Governor Nikki Haley. So in other words, all the Republican rats are trying to jump out the South Carolina ship. They're all trying to jump ship now. The former ambassador to the United Nations during the Trump administration declared her candidacy on February 14th. Scott, known for his fundraising prowess, enters the White House race with his campaign coffers well stocked. Scott reported nearly $22 million in cash on hand at the end of last year, funds left over from the senator's convincing 25-point re-election victory in November in reliably red South Carolina. A pair of Scott-aligned super PACs started 2023 with roughly $16 million in the bank, thanks to contributors from numerous Republican mega donors, including Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison. Folks, if you think that YouTube nerfing our numbers, if you think that Google playing around with our websites, if you think that us being buried by these internet websites is harmless, just consider that these tech ain't playing around. Larry Ellison has been one of the richest men in the world now for decades. And they are putting that internet tech money to use.
There you go.
They ain't
Some
just
game
sitting on it.
belly.
They're putting it to use.
Yep. Uh-huh. Told you. Told you out here on the West Coast, you know, in my sector right here, you know, they are not fucking around out here, people. And the same damn thing with these biotechnical firms, because they coming up with some more bullshit where, you know, well, motherfuckers gonna need to take this and
They're
take
using
that,
that.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, Brother Chase says you got a recording error here.
Yeah. We've been having issues with the connection. We had some storms in the area.
Yeah. Okay. All right, now you got some bullshit right here coming up here. Whoops, there seems to be an error on our side. Contact support. Man, fuck y'all. Uploads are taking longer than usual. You can visit the upload page to continue your upload. Oh, so they want you to download some more of their bullshit. Man, fuck
No, it's
Silicon.
it's the StreamYard, Shabaka.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I'm typing in here, fuck Hollywood and fuck Silicon Game Valley. Lousy motherfuckers, boy. Yeah. Silicon Game
It's not looking good for
Valley.
the TLP, Ramil. You got to do something about the TLP. He's still on the line. I told you.
Where's Anchorman? I hear him.
We can barely hear you, Ramel. Somebody, I'll put. Yeah, I see you, Shabaka. Where'd you go? Oh, hello, no. Mm. Okay, this one. Uh-oh. Welcome back to Rocky.
Yeah. Silicon Game Valley with their bullshit again, man. Every day they adding some more shit to this artificial intelligence. Now look at this here. You see this picture right here? They said picture that stymie buckwheat looking motherfucker, man. Yeah.
I think it's like another 10 minutes.
And he says right here, it's time to be a Republican. Oh man, where do they find these fools, man? What be with these niggas? Damn.
It's like they got a whole factory full of them.
Well, brother Che, you said it right, man. There's a new movie called Coon starring the majority of these niggas, man, and he definitely, man, gets the starring role.
I don't know if she got that meme. That was a good meme.
Cheesy.
Oh, Cool Peasy. Yeah, shout out to Cool Peasy.
Yeah. Okay, is the Anchorman still with us?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay. All right. Tim Scott was in Charleston, South Carolina, the day after Haley formally announced her campaign to deliver a speech on Black History Month. Now, folks, that last sentence I read right there, that there's an insult to our ancestors. on the start of Black History Month. And they allow a sack of shit like that to come down there. And then keep in mind, Charleston, South Carolina was one of the biggest slave ports that they imported our people from.
Yeah.
And
I have family that are sharecroppers in South Carolina.
wow, okay, and that there's where former world heavyweight boxing champion Joe Frazier in his youth is from South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And where he picked up his skills at. And then, of course, as you know, Joe Frazier was a father at 15 years old, and he had started boxing. And Joe Frazier, was a black man that took care of his family, with the best things he knew how. That left hook, and that right hand. They say, and I think that Joe Frazier would probably want to go kick this motherfucker's ass, man. Announcing this bullshit like this. You know what I mean? I mean, here you got Nikki Haley, avid, white supremacist.
Nikki Haley, that's the one that got Don Lemon fired.
Yeah. And look at this stymie ass, bald headed looking motherfucker right here.
Oh man, I should have pulled the video. I should have pulled up the video.
I mean, this fool look like Stymie out of Little Rascals.
He tried to shake all the white hands, and they all shook him. Like they all
yeah, and I remember this. There was a clip when the dump got selected that he's standing up there trying to shake hands with all the Republicans, and they just walking by him like, and they just walked by him. Yeah, and they just walked by him like he was a piece of shit. And this shit is embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing. And as a black man, I am highly offended by this motherfucker with this bullshit. I really am. And then just think about all our people who came through the slave auctions of Carolina that bled and were broken. And oh man.
Oh my God. Or fucking Daniel Cameron.
Okay, now who is this fool?
Daniel Cameron. That's the one that got the pigs off for killing Breonna Taylor.
Oh no. And he up there smiling with Nikki Haley.
Mm-hmm. That's their black friend. You know how they always say,
okay,
I got friends. Yeah, that's the kind of what black friends they have.
Okay, and that sounds like to me that fool did not learn nothing about the tragedy of Emmett Till.
He might have, but he says you can't be better, Shabaka.
He says, what now? We got to be better. Folks, what you're looking here, okay, people. Now, with me being an old bastard, okay, I got to tell you the real. This is straight regression. This is not progress at all. This is straight regression, black family. We are moving backwards with this bullshit. Way backwards. Totally. It's beyond that, Lady J. It's an obsession of self-hate, man. It's an obsession of self-hate. And we're going to do a show on that on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced in the feature. With this clown running, yeah. And the name of that show is going to be The Obsession of Self-Hate. And if you can screenshot
Right.
this here, brother Che, I would love to use this photo right here to promote that episode because, as they say, a picture speaks 1,000 words. Right there, you go, right there. Oh, he is sickening.
It's-
And he
worse,
did it
right?
in Charleston, South Carolina. Oh,
One of the biggest slave ports.
yes, 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 yes. And just looking at this bullshit, I'm hearing the cries of our ancestors and the misery that our people went through, man. I'm feeling them as they getting docked off of there, pulled off of there, put up on that auction block. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, then the misery that they went through, man, on the passage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now here's what I challenge old Tim Scott to do right here. And as a matter of fact, Kamala could join him. I like to see both of them sellout ass Negroes, along with Elders and Leo Terrell. I would like for you niggas to go on a boat in Frisco Bay and be chained down and just ride that boat from,
5
let's
minutes
say,
left.
from San Quentin to Alcatraz Island, and just let me know how you feel. And just imagine of going across the Atlantic Ocean, you know, for 3-4
You're not
months
gonna
on
do it, Shabaka.
I know,
I
I
would
know.
happen, but this ain't that.
Yes, you read about that, sir. You know, you are absolutely correct about that. You know, this is despicable. This is disgusting.
Oh, I'm just with your buddies. Oh, we're just kicking it.
We're drinking some beers.
We're gonna do some beers later. We're gonna pop some brews.
Man, you might as well put that nigga in a minstrel outfit, man. This is a minstrel.
He could have been a star of Birth of the
This is minstrel shit, man. Damn. Wow, Tim Scott, boy.
It's not kinfolk.
Kinfolk. This is a classic example of it right there, sir. And if there was ever anything that slapped me in my face to that fact, is this photograph right here. As they say, a picture speaks 1,000 words.
Oh, white people love to hear that.
And old Nikki Haley.
Oh my
Another
God,
raggedy
that bitch
bro.
Trying to get motherfucking Daniel Penny pardoned.
Trying to get Daniel Penny pardoned. For what? It's a waste of the taxpayers' dollars when the bastard is getting ready to be acquitted. And you mean to tell me, you see, okay, to the generations after me, all this shit that you're seeing right here, okay, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing had predicted this. Dr. Claude Anderson, you know, had laid this out.
Cut the goddamn
Okay.
check. And
Exactly.
The scholars that you named.
Yes, sir.
They've been telling us in the 70s.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that this would come. And keep in mind is that these white supremacist power structures, they plan they shit long term for long term. Now, what do I mean by planning for long term? I mean, they plan they shit like for 25, 30 years in the future.
At least, yeah.
Our folks can't plan nothing, man, for 10 minutes in the future.
Facts.
Due to the Ma'afa. Which is a disaster so bad beyond description. Quote from Dr. Marimba and Dr. Wilson. And Dr. Wilson told us this, people. Dr. Wilson told us this. Dr. King told us this. X-Man told us this. Newton told us this. Bobby Seale told us this. Fred Hampton told us this.
Yep. That's why they were all killed, Damn. God damn.
Cook it.
Whole
Right out the coffee pot. You make it rotten coffee pot. It's so solid.
right. Oh my God. Happy days. Come on, Jay. Happy days. Hated that fucking show. I was just like,
Mozzarella.
right. Right.
That's it.
Open your eyes. Oh my God. All right. I think I'm going to end it there. Oh, I got to bring Sparker back. Uh-oh. Oh, no. What is wrong?
No. It's hot in here.
I know it's all the way over minus the box. All right. So I'm going to end the show. No, not the show, but I'm going to end the video there. So,
Okay, can you hear me?
I want to hear from the anchor bear first. What are your thoughts on Tim Scott running for president?
It's not about the Republican Party. It's not about Republican candidates. It's about Republican principles. Fuck Scott, he ain't about shit.
All right.
Most party ain't about shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the Republican principles as they stand are righteous. I gotta be honest. Because it's all about man, woman, child, the family unit.
Yeah, but they're talking about white people, Ramel.
Yeah, but listen,
they're not talking about black people.
Bear with me.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a Republican China, there's a Republican this, there's a Republican that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a science behind it. The family unit, less government, more people's militia. You know what I'm saying?
You bringing up the principles of the Republican Party. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the principles. And you got to remember that them people did not get those principles by their own
accord.
They didn't come up with that on their own. They got that from black folks.
Yeah, because prior to 1964, Shabaka will attest that black people voted Republican more so than Democrat. It wasn't until 1964, after the Civil Rights Bill was passed, that black people started getting on the fucking Democratic plantation And Lyndon B. Johnson said that he had niggas voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Yeah, so check it. So what I'm getting at is the Moors, they taught the Caucasian how to write a constitution.
Yeah, doctrine. Yeah.
How to establish the government. All that is black people, man. Teaching the white man how to do shit politically and through government and you know, the law and justice and all that shit. Anyway, so we can't even credit them with the principles of republicanism. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm getting at is that if we as a people adhere to those type of principles of traditional family values, you know, our traditional family values from a people on, then we would be better off. Man, woman, child, you know, everybody to their own people. Let them be with their people, we be with our people. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Elijah Muhammad said, separate from the devil, separate from Babylon, however you want to say it. You know what I mean? And the only way we're going to be able to establish those principles, our principles, is by getting into the political races and getting into them government positions and start changing laws that'll benefit us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it all starts from the home, and it starts within the community. Because, you know, in the home, if you ain't teaching shit, then your family ain't going to be about shit. You know what I'm saying? As long as we keep calling each other pimps, players, gang bangers, all this shit, gang shit, whatever, right? We ain't going to get nowhere. Now, if we start talking about revolution and getting into politics and educating, not miseducating ourselves, but educating ourselves on things that matter, not just some music shit or some sports shit or shit that don't matter, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, some real revolutionary shit, then we're better off. And that's what I'm on, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what we're all on Front Line campaign.
I know that's us. But I'm just saying the people that are listening, the people that are watching, some people are new to this.
Yeah.
But we're true to this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So our thing is, it ain't about us, it's about all of us. You see what I'm saying? We're black nationalists, so it ain't just about us as a small unit, but it's about us as a collective, locally, globally, universally, even on the underground level. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you got your ground level, you got your surface level, you know what I'm saying? You got your universal level, and then you got the underground, which is opposite to all of that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we need to be on all four sectors, locally, globally, universally, and on the underground. In regards to revolution and teaching revolutionary science, how we know it, how we learn it from Sekou, how we learn it from the prophecies, how we learn it from the Black family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to be on, and we need to teach our ideology, our information, and the truth, not our truth, but the truth, positive and negative, because a lot of our leaders fell victim.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And we can't deny that. And what we need to do is, we ain't gonna speak bad about our former leaders, but what we can do, us as individuals, we can learn from their mistakes and keep it moving and keep elevating. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like Dr. Martin Luther King, he had his faults. I ain't gonna sit and talk bad about the man, because his cause and his motivation, you know, was for the greater good of our people. But he did things that weren't really beneficial for him nor us. But he found that out later on in his path. You know what I mean? And, you know, basically what I'm getting at is, you know, cut it dry is, man, you know, down with the system, more up with revolutionism. And that's what I'm on.
Thank you for those awesome words. Lady Che, what are your thoughts on Tim Scott?
I went over it. Fuck him. Tomatoes. He's stupid. Like, he's not gonna go nowhere. Just because you got bread don't mean you go anywhere. And he said he don't have no fucking real black agenda. So I'm done with it.
Okay.
He is amusing though.
He is amusing.
I'm like, I really don't think that we should be celebrating anything he got going on.
Right. Well, we're not celebrating. We're just exposing it.
Yeah.
He exposed himself.
Right.
Okay.
We lost Chewbacca.
All right.
General, can I please get that preposition requisition, man? I just
No, because
3-minute video.
we're having too many technical difficulties tonight, Ramel. But we'll do it on a future program, definitely. So since we lost Chewbacca, I want to hear his wonderful words. But on Tim Scott. Oh yeah, he did give us a rundown. Okay, so next topic is Daniel Penny's interview was lies by omission.
Yeah.
So Daniel Penny, for those that don't know, is the suspected white supremacist that killed Jordan Neely, a black man who was homeless, on the New York City subway earlier this month. So he did an interview. I forgot who interviewed him, but one of the white-owned media outlets interviewed him. Just like we said, well, just like Professor Black Truth said originally, because he said he was going to go on a media tour, and he was not lying. There is Chewbacca. Welcome back, Chewbacca.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. They're definitely messing with us tonight. But what are your thoughts on Tim Scott? And then we're going to Daniel Penny.
My thoughts on Tim Scott, man. The man is ill, man. He needs to be committed.
Okay.
But seriously, that man has serious psychological issues.
Yeah. We all concur. So the next topic is Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny.
Yeah.
God, the suspected white supremacist earlier this month. He does his first TV interview. So shout out to Lisa Cabrera. If you haven't subscribed to Lisa Cabrera or TBA or Professor Black Truth, we strongly suggest that you do. And we're going to play the video now.
Okay.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an update on Daniel Penny. He actually did an interview, and he stated that he's not a white supremacist and he loves all people. It's a damn shame he did not love all people
that day.
Yeah.
That night. Oh my God.
On that day that he murdered Jordan Neely. And by the way, today, Saturday, May 20th, was his funeral.
No.
So let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. A veteran who was charged with manslaughter on the New York death homeless man has broken silence and insists that the killing had nothing to do with race. I don't believe him. I think if it was a mentally ill white man saying all of the same exact things on that train, his whole reaction would have been different. I judge a person based on their character. Well, how do you judge? This is my question. How do you judge a person based on their character and you didn't even know that person at all?
Right.
I mean, did you know the character of everybody on the train that day?
No.
So no, you could not have possibly have known the character of Jordan Neely or anybody else on that train. I'm not a white supremacist, Daniel Penny told the
That's
New
exactly
York
what he
Post in
is.
an interview on Saturday with
That's
second
exactly
degree
what he
manslaughter
is.
charge in the death of Jordan Neely.
Mm-hmm.
This confrontation was caught on video showing Penny restraining Neely with the help of two other passengers after the homeless Michael Jackson impersonator reportedly screamed threats. How does "I'm hungry, I'm thirsty"? How is that a threat?
Right. It's not.
Yeah, a lot of homeless people are hungry and thirsty. I don't see how that adds up to a threat and menace people on the train. But see, the thing is, they have spoken to people on the train, and it's a very mixed reaction. It is not a consistent, yep, he protected us, and this is what he did. Everybody is not consistently saying that. So now Penny suggests he would take action again if faced with similar circumstances, nodding and telling Post, I would if there was a threat and danger in the present. And
Well,
my
I
question
got
is,
something.
how do y'all perceive
Uh-oh.
a threat
Lost the
and a
question.
danger?
We got to get to the video.
I think that
Okay.
is the biggest problem. Everybody don't have that same perception. So if somebody just gets up, and let me tell you something, I have seen Karen and Darren screaming on videos too. If screaming is a death sentence, all of y'all should be
Right.
dead then. Okay, all of you should be dead. So on Friday, Neely's funeral held in Harlem, and the eulogy, oh boy, Al Sharpton delivered the eulogy,
Oh, my God.
and they said it was a crowd of hundreds, saying they choked Jordan. They put their arms around all of us. But Penny rejected the suggestion that his fatal confrontation with Neely was an act of hate, discrimination, saying this had nothing to do with race.
Uh-huh.
But see, you know what
No,
it
that's
is.
exactly what it
This
had to do
country,
with.
and this is the truth, whether you like me saying it or not,
Mhm.
this country has based its entire existence on race.
Uh-huh.
So when you come along and try to say something is not about race, that's why it's so hard for people to believe that.
Mhm.
Because if you go historically, past and present, very much in the present as well, you see so many things that are really truly based on race. And some of y'all are under this false guise that if you don't say the N word or you don't say anything racist, then it's not about race. That is the false. That's
All
something
right, brother Che, you there?
very
Oh,
covert. So you may not express it in words, but you certainly express your disdain for people that don't look like you in your actions. And then when you get called out on it, you pretend like, nah, that's not what that was, when it indeed was. So when you try to say things are not about race in a country that built its whole foundation from the past all the way up until present day on race, it's just, it doesn't fly with a lot of people.
Right.
But I'm not here to give you a history lesson. So let's move on. Let's move on. So he goes on and say, I mean, it's a little bit comical. No, it's not comical that it could be about race. Many people believe it is. So everyone who's ever met me can tell you I love all people. I love all culture. He told the Post.
Oh my God.
I don't know. When we watch that video, I don't see much love coming from you. I'm just saying. And then he goes on to say, I'm a normal guy. Added Penny insisted that he's not a vigilante. Penny, who is from Long Island. Long Island is extremely racist, y'all. It is extremely racist. And many of you probably seen Long Island without even realizing you have. In fact, what was that reality show? You remember Gotti's daughter and her sons? That mansion she had in that show is in Long Island. Long Island is extremely racist. And those of you from New York, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It is
Sounds like Ventura
like
County,
the
California.
Alabama of New York. That's what
like Ventura County is the Alabama of California.
He is from Long Island and is facing 15 years in prison for putting Neely in a chokehold in the subway confrontation that began after Neely was screaming threats. See, I don't like how they wrote this. What was he saying? Right. Okay, we know he was hungry and said he was thirsty. So the case has been highly polarized with politicians defend racial lines. Why I'm saying when you say it's not about race, look at people taking sides. Even the people that are taking sides based on race. Now you can keep claiming you're not. Yes, you are. You did the same thing in George Zimmerman. You did the same thing when it came down, Mike Brown. Mm-hmm. Y'all jumped on Darren Wilson's side. Mm-hmm. You know, we have seen this occur over and over again. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's laughable that you're denying it. So if you're faced with all of these challenges, you have to remain calm, he said. What's the point of worrying about something? Worrying is going to make your problems disappear. Worrying is not going to make your problems disappear. I attribute this to my father and grandfather. So this is what he's saying. So he goes on. Penny said that he had to quit social media 2 years ago. So he got off of social media. I don't follow anyone. I don't have a social media because I really don't like the attention. And I think there are better ways to spend your time. I don't like the limelight. When a Post reporter read Penny's part of Sharpton's eulogy at Friday's funeral, Penny responded by nodding and saying that he was not sure who Sharpton is, adding that he doesn't really know celebrities that well. He's lying. He's lying. He comes out of Long Island. And he don't know who Al Sharpton, who else, you know, he's a New York.
First place,
you don't know who he is.
Yeah, fuck Al Sharpton. Fuck Al Sharpton. Fuck him. And fuck this damn
he knows exactly
Penny,
who Al Sharpton
Penny
is.
Annie
And
motherfucker.
I'm willing to bet he knows who a lot of celebrities are. When he made that statement, I don't believe him. Sharpton.
Fuck this Penny Annie motherfucker and Al Sharpton.
No way. So anyway, at the funeral at Mount Nebo Baptist Church in Harlem, and delivered the fiery eulogy condemning Neely's death as unjust. And we can't live in the city where you can choke me to death with no provocation, no weapon, no threat. And you go home and sleep in your bed while my family has to put me into a cemetery, Sharpton said. So this is what he said during the eulogy today. So y'all, just tell me what you think about what he said in this interview. You know,
No, I got a lot
Unfortunately,
to
no matter
say
how
about
much
it.
he's
I
trying
know
to
you do, Shabaka.
distance himself from the racism, it is very racist.
Yes.
You can just see it, how people are taking sides, how people are speaking, how people are insisting this is, you got to expect these folks are going to always lie, even when there's a video. Even when you see a video present, these folks will still lie and try to make you believe what you saw in the video is not
And
what happened.
Just lying eye.
I don't even,
and
that's
that's
why I
what
don't even pay
and
attention to
that's
them.
what we mean.
But y'all,
And
please tell
that's
me
what
what you
we
think
mean about
about this
pissing
video.
on my head. And yeah. You're
Yep.
telling me, okay, you're pissing on my head and telling me it's rain. You're shitting on me, telling it it's snow. Fuck this penny ante ass motherfucker right there. And I hope somebody kills this son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm making it plain. Mr. Neely, he didn't deserve that. And then keep in mind, what about the two accomplishments? Yeah, what about the two accomplices that this penny ante motherfucker had? Now, where are they at? When do they get
Oh, we ain't
booked
heard
for
nothing
being an
about them.
accessory to that man's murder? See there? You see what I'm saying? And now, where's the black ass attorney general of the state of New York? How come she ain't overstepping the DA of Manhattan or whatever goddamn county that New York is in and issue out a warrant for them other the fools arrest and go pick them up and throw them there into the county jail in general population?
Yeah, make them walk the concrete.
Yeah, where's some justice at? Simple, because there ain't none for us. The professor, the moment of truth.
Just us. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So Professor Black's Truth has to give his commentary on this. Daniel Penny's interview was lies by omission.
Okay.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the
professor
professor, and this is the moment of truth. The killer of Jordan Neely is making the rounds in the white media. They claim he gave an interview with Rupert Murdoch's New York Post, but it was nothing more than a press release. The entire goal was to give him a platform to say whatever lies and other talking points his lawyers fed to him and make sure that nobody questions or contradicts him. The white right media is posting false headlines saying Daniel Penny breaks silence. That's a lie. The white media has been in constant contact with his attorneys since the lynching happened. For weeks now, he's been allowed to say whatever the hell he wants. They knew who he was, where he lived. The white media knew everything about him. But along with the New York police and the
Damn it. I don't know why I'm technical difficulties.
The DA's office, they fought to keep this killer's identity a secret because they wanted this to go away. Daniel Penny has been issuing one false statement after the next through his attorneys since the very beginning. He hasn't broken silence because he hasn't been quiet. Now, if the headlines were honest, they would read, Daniel Penny confesses to killing Jordan Neely, admits his victim never even touched him. Because that's what this so-called interview was. It was a confession. He attempts to pathetically lie by omission, and he can't even get that right. Quote, I can tell you that the threats, the menacing, the terror that Jordan Neely introduced to that train has already been well documented. Again, we get an avalanche of weasel words, and you can tell that these words were fed to him by his attorneys because he never actually mentions his own behavior. He doesn't deny that he killed Mr. Neely. He doesn't deny anything. Instead, he tries to justify it, but to do so without actually saying what he's justifying. Shouldn't he have been walking the News Corp media whore through his actions step by step? If he was innocent, shouldn't he have been saying, let me tell you what happened by step. Let me explain every minute of this video to you. For the last few weeks, his attorneys have been lying and claiming that Jordan Neely attacked people on the train. Well, notice how Daniel Penny didn't even say that word. He wouldn't dare say it. Shouldn't he have been repeating the BS about, oh, Jordan Neely was attacking people on the train? What he meant was verbally. But of course, now that people have called him out on it, he can't use that word anymore. He can't claim that he had.
Oh, man. Restart the computer. Okay.
Hey, could be your
Been
internet
beaten or
connection.
physically assaulted or even touched by Mr. Neely. He can't claim battery. He can't claim assault. He can't claim anything. He and his lawyers tried that talking point about attack. He was attacking people. They tried that, and then people pointed out, mostly the black media pointed out that Mr. Neely never laid a finger on anyone.
Right.
So we see that they've had to abandon that talking point because it's been exposed. The killer doesn't say anything about anyone being attacked or physically threatened on that train. If Daniel Penny was heroically saving people from this threatening, menacing, terroristic, whatever, then shouldn't he be telling us all about how Jordan Neely was beating people? That Jordan Neely pulled a knife or a gun or a brick or anything? Shouldn't he have been saying that, well, Jordan Neely was strangling people on the train. He was kicking people. He was slapping people. Shouldn't he be telling everyone how Jordan Neely was hurting people on the train? But he doesn't. Given a chance for an interview with a friendly so-called news outlet, he doesn't say anything. Instead, he just deliberately misuses words like menacing and terror. Who the hell was terrorized by a 110-pound hungry, near-emaciated man who was ranting gibberish? Right. And if everyone was so scared, why was it that you had a number of people who jumped on Mr. Neely? If everybody was so terrorized by him, why did everybody jump on him? Seems to me Mr. Neely was the one who was being terrorized. But if Mr. Neely's alleged reign of terror on that subway was so menacing and so terrorizing and so threatening, then why didn't Daniel Penny call the police? It's not as if Jordan Neely was doing anything to stop him. Jordan Neely was simply walking back and forth. Jordan Neely hadn't attacked Daniel Penny, hadn't punched him, or even laid a finger on him, or anyone else on that subway train. So if Daniel Penny seriously felt that he or anyone else was endangered, then his first response should have been to call the authorities. It's not as if Jordan Neely was stopping him. Jordan Neely wasn't, not to why, because he wasn't under threat. What Daniel Penny thought was that he saw an opportunity to get away with killing someone. But of course, Rupert Murdoch's post never challenges or even questions the lies that Penny tells, and that was the entire point. This was a press release, not an interview. And the rest of the white media is falling in lockstep as they've been doing for the last few weeks. They're not questioning anything that Daniel Penny has said. They're not questioning any of his statements. Here he is actually making some empty gibberish about that incident where he lynched a man on a train. And the white media is not picking up his words, not saying anything about it. They're not examining it. They're just repeating it and just moving on. They have made it a point to deliberately ignore all the facts and the video and to instead claim that his chokehold was just a headlock, or that his strangling this man to death was him restraining his victim.
Sabaka.
Yeah.
Sabaka.
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. The Professor Black Truth is 100. Yeah. It's 100% right about that. That Penny Annie motherfucker went out there and murdered that man because he's a punk. Okay. Jordan Neely, the man who was only 110 pounds and nearly emaciated, then he is in no physical strength to do anything to anybody. Okay. Because that is very, very underweight for a man. You know what I'm saying? And so which means is if he is only weighing that much and hungry, then that means he has no strength. So what had happened was this Penny Annie bastard, okay, through his inbred arrogance of white supremacy, went up there and murdered that brother simply because he was, in my opinion, an easy target. No threat to him, but I'm quite sure the Penny Annie motherfucker would not have went out to up to somebody with his same height and weight class, you know, and do that to them if they were doing, you know, what Mr. Neely was doing. And Mr. Neely was no threat to nobody. All he just said is that he was hungry, that he was thirsty. If anything, what Mr. Neely was doing was begging for some help. from the general public. But however, with old mighty whitey America being the motherfucking stinking ass cave sons of bitches that you are with your smelly asses, you see what I'm saying? You just are fulfilling your American ethos. And this is what makes a fool like Tim Scott so comical. Actually, idiots like Tim Scott, Kamala Harris, they really are to be pitied for. But at this stage of the game, we can't have no backsliding, okay? As the anchor man has said it, so well many a times, it's time for revolution. Okay, and we can't be nice to nobody no more. We got to quit hating ourselves. It's because the more we hate ourselves, the more we project that shit out that faggot ass place called Hollywood. Okay, and I'm so glad that Mr. Terrence, took the stand that he did. You can have this here more and more flagrant. It's like just go pick a nigga now. They did it 100 years ago, and as they say, history repeats itself. Just go pick a nigga, choke him out. Go find a homeless black motherfucker. Give him some poison. His life don't matter. He's less than human.
No.
See, that's the American ethos now.
Black
And
lives
the
don't
ethos,
matter. That was the whole purpose
no,
behind Black
exactly.
Lives Matter, and they co-opted that
Right
and
now,
turned fucking alphabet agenda.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? So where's them bitches, that started Black Lives Matter on this one right here? Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all bought a mansion down there in Topanga Canyon. Yeah, which is one of the most exclusive areas of the city of Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, that Will Smith used to play. Yeah, Topanga Canyon is next to Bel Air in Los Angeles. Yeah. And then on top of it too, as the professor was saying, okay, is that these white folks is talking about, oh man, this a terrorist, black motherfucker right here that they just want to kill. I'm paraphrasing the professor. In other words, this is what they call black family open season on us. They want to purge us, particularly black men, like what they did to Mr. Neely, like what that faggot Chauvin did to George Floyd. You see, just like old Lawrence Powell's punk ass did to Rodney King. Okay. And then just like that other raggedy ass police officer on the lapdogs that shot a 58-year-old homeless black woman who weighed no more than 110 pounds, wringing wet. And she had a screwdriver, and he's going to say he was in fear of his safety. And this bastard was 6'2", bench pressing every bit of about 350 pounds, a lapdog, okay, in his 20s. And this woman was 58 years old, homeless, pushing a shopping basket, and he shoots her.
Shabaka,
Huh? Yeah.
we can't hear you and Professor Black Truth at the same time.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Shabaka, but I'm trying to play the video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, go ahead, because your signal is fading in and out. Once again, they shadow banning us. Go ahead, brother, play the video.
I'm not.
Felt better.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Sabaka.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying,
Hold on,
you
Sabaka. I'm
know.
trying to take the video.
Oh, okay.
I restarted. It's not doing it. Mhm. Nope. Mm. 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 That's all.
Hello.
Yeah, where is Sabaka?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I was saying about that penny ante motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? They need to throw his ass in the general population, hopefully in a module with all black inmates. And let's see how tough his punk ass is then on that one.
Right.
He murdered that man. You know, that was flagrant, blatant, a public execution is what that was. And I don't know about the state of New York, but in California, I think under their laws, they could special circumstance that motherfucker in California. Now, what does special circumstance mean in
Hold on,
California? That
Sabaka.
means they go,
Like
yeah,
5 more minutes of the video.
okay.
No.
Okay, you fading in and out, Brother Paris.
Next up.
Right. Huh.
Okay, Professor Lester. Right. Nope. Man.
Hey,
Yeah, we're here.
hey, what's going on? Okay. Well, we're having technical difficulties. Yeah, it's because I'm hearing,
Yeah, I got to
the
restart the
signal.
computer. It's like,
Okay. So this is part of the shadow ban, huh? Yeah. Yeah, where they throwing a monkey wrench in our works. Is the anchor man still with us?
You want to man, go right now. Good, go.
no.
Okay.
Oh, God. Yeah, like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm. Mm. Right. Okay, I'm gonna end it there.
All right, go ahead, restart. All right, Chewbacca, it's just me and you.
No, okay.
Camera, baby, they can't see you.
So what?
What do you mean? So what?
They don't need to see me.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
All right, I'm gonna restart the computer, Shabaka. So it's just gonna be you on Lady Che for the time being.
All right.
Hold on a second.
All right.
You gotta block it. Unmute yourself. Mute yourself. Hold on, Chewbacca.
Okay. As I was saying here with that Penny Annie bastard, you know what I'm saying? Throw his ass off in general population in the jail. Okay. He murdered Mr. Neely, plain and simple, out of hatred. Okay. And then on top of it, you know, Mr. Penny, you know, as the professor was saying, it was only 110 pounds and malnourished. So he was no threat to nobody. Not at 110 pounds and being malnourished. If anything, the man only had enough strength to barely stand up. That's probably why he was not doing his Michael Jackson impression that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the video I saw with that was he was just ranting. He wasn't like, and he wasn't even loud. I think he was just talking and
Yeah.
you know, in rambles, whatever. But he was probably
Yeah,
tired.
he was. Yeah, the man was tired. Plus, he was hungry. And then the sad part about it is, you know, when he got on that train and he didn't know he only had 5 more minutes to live, you know, by this Penny Annie motherfucker who flagrantly and blatantly went out there and murdered that man. Because anytime that you get trained with special skills, right, you was always looking for some sucker to come along, not calling Mr. Neely a sucker, but you're always waiting for somebody to try it out on just to see if this stuff works. And I believe that's what that asshole did to Mr. Neely. You know, they saying he was a military veteran, war veteran, special skills. Okay. So he had the special skills and he had went out there and he did a purge. You see? It didn't have to be, you know, Mr. Neely. You know what I'm saying? He probably got on that damn subway train, you know, to look for motherfuckers to purge.
Mm-hmm. Well, several sources, the New Black Media was saying that he was stalking Miss Jordan Neely.
Oh, really? Now, why was he stalking him? That's interesting.
Because they kept saying that Jordan Neely was a problem and he needs to be dealt with.
What kind of problem?
What kind of problem?
Well, they're painting him as a habitual criminal.
Oh, he wasn't that wrong. I think if you don't like to be entertained by Michael Jackson or cool, smooth, you know, R&B music or pop music that Michael Jackson like to do, and you don't like the look of Michael Jackson, that's your problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't like the moonwalk, you're a problem. You know what I mean? I love the moonwalk. You don't like that shiny, sparkly glove? Hey, I guess that's a problem. You don't like the red leather jacket or the when you doing beat it or any of that? I guess that's a problem. Oh, motherfucking weirdos! Like all these white people act like they never grew up on Michael Jackson. They were the main propagators of buying his music. Talk about, well, like, you know, then you gonna take him out like that? They're acting all stupid and shit. When all you had to do is reach in your motherfucking pocket or reach in your lunch sack and hand him some food or some money or something.
You know what I mean? Acting all stingy and shit. Where fucking New York is one of the most wasteful food places ever. You know what I mean? Come on now, this shit. I can go on all day about how stupid that shit sounded. Like he's a problem. He ain't be dealt with. Why? Because he moonwalked beautifully, and the real motherfucking Michael Jackson. That's like watching Michael Jackson die 2 times. Once in the hands of the motherfucking doctor, and again in the hands of a white supremacist. You know what I mean? I can't handle it. How many times did you try to bump off Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not only that, but I think this too. Like, what are you so bothered by? I'd like a show on the bus, or the train, or the light rail. I would love a show. Like shit. I would love a show when I got off at Union Station instead of seeing fucking police chase black people around. I would love a show. Can we get a show? With police dogs putting on their gloves like they gonna handle somebody. They were that day, remember? Oh my God, man. But we were talking to that Shabaka. On the phone with Shabaka that day. Yeah, that shit was horrible. I would love dinner and a show. Like this. Oh, we just got to sit on the train with the rats in silence. What the fuck, man? Any videos? How many YouTube videos have you seen where the rats are everywhere? How come he wasn't scared of the rats when he was doing that?
Right.
I would be scared. I'd be like, get off the floor, sir. There's rats on the floor.
Right.
The motherfucking rats are all over the subway. Yep. Talk about you. And all them white people getting in the subway. All of a sudden, they didn't have no fear of the rats, huh? Just make that make sense.
None of it makes sense. It's justification of a murder of a black man.
None of that made sense. They were like, all of a sudden they protesting the rats, then they protested death, but they don't have no problem getting in the train tracks. None whatsoever. None. It doesn't make any sense. Hold on.
All right, I'm back.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm back. Shabaka.
All right. Well, you guys lullabying me to sleep with that one.
I felt the other.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, man. Start talking. I was like, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna give my closing, man. Then I'm gonna nod on out here to sleep. Yeah, man. Long day. The sun's out. It's getting warm out here. So yeah. So the sun is out. So the summer solstice is approaching.
Yeah, it is warm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but we love this weather. Well, you guys in a mile-high city, you guys can get any type of weather any given day, at any given time, in any given year, all 4 seasons.
All right. After that.
Okay, so was that it for your closing, Shabaka?
Yeah, is that penny ante motherfucker needs to be dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And then quite naturally, of course, our hearts go out to the family of Mr. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And may the brother rest in peace.
Yes.
Yep. And stay tuned for another episode of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced coming up. We're going to be in pre-production.
We're going to do a Memorial Day show.
Oh, okay. All righty. Okay, so just go ahead, write it up for Memorial Day. And because everybody's going to be kicked back. Yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll put shadow banning us.
Yeah.
Because
it's the holiday.
Yeah. So plan the episode. Everybody's going to be out picnicking and enjoying themselves, and see if we can get it produced tomorrow. And that's my close.
Okay, Shabaka, well, thank you for joining us.
Yes, so thank you for having me. Okay. All right, y'all have a nice night.
Hey, tomorrow
okay, and once you Yeah, and then, folks, once again, fuck that Penny Annie motherfucker. Yeah, so Penny Annie, that's his name.
Yeah, pity.
Penny Annie Punk. Yeah, the Penny Annie Punk.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. All right.
Okay. All right, peace.
All right. Okay.
All right, so
Are we gonna do the other half tomorrow?
no. We gotta at least get to this next topic.
All right, bet. What's the next topic?
So we got an update on Lashawn Thompson murder case in Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County Jail. Go
That's
ahead,
what
Doc.
was eaten by the bugs, right?
Correct.
Yeah. We got an update?
Yeah.
All right. I'm waiting for the updates. It looks like they took a settlement and it's going to be forgive, and go ahead and build the motherfucking another jail or it's going to spread the bugs over there.
Ugh. No, I don't think it's that kind of party.
Over there.
Feeds them every crumb of their.
It was talking big shit, man. I was like, man.
What the hell is my cue?
The family was like, we just want. I think did you start it over?
Yeah.
I think there was like, we just want to.
As long as there is freedom and justice, there will always be some bottom-feeding demonic.
Oh,
bring awareness. I'm like, what the fuck is
I
that?
lost the whole goddamn cue. Damn. Oh, shouldn't be that hard to pull it back up. Oh, continue later, chat. So.
I don't know. I've caught up. I just was like, I'm just disgusted every time I see families. First, they're really angry, and then they're not really angry, and then they just say, we just want to bring awareness. Awareness to what? Like, these atrocities continuously happen.
Right.
Like, we don't need any more awareness. You know what you're going to do about it. And why is any answer acceptable?
Right.
Like, why are you subjected to fucking...
So, the update is
eating the answer.
The brother's autopsy has been released.
Again?
Again. How's it again?
Because they said he was digested by bugs.
They didn't have the autopsy results when they said that. And the brother's funeral was just recently.
Pull my leg.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is from Atlanta News First. And it says Lashawn Thompson's family released an autopsy report.
Okay, sharing good.
Now, after the disturbing death of Lashawn Thompson inside the Fulton County Jail, an independent autopsy has now been released, revealing a lot more about how he died. According to civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, representing the family, the report says that his death was a homicide and that being eaten by bed bugs contributed to his demise. Crump, along with Thompson's family and community members, are rallying outside the state capitol, calling for change. As you can see, this is a live look. Crump said these independent autopsy findings also confirm Thompson was malnourished, dehydrated, and was killed by the extreme neglect of the Fulton County Jail and staff. Prior to today, family members have demanded the Fulton County Jail be shut down following Thompson's death. Since then, the sheriff forced 3 top jailers to resign. 3 days later, the Fulton County Board of Commissioners approved $5.3 million to further address inmate safety and security, though the sheriff has also asked to build a whole new jail. Now, Atlanta News First is at that press conference, as you saw, talking with family members, Attorney Crump, as well as the community. And we're going to have a full report coming up this afternoon, starting at 3 p.m. right here on Atlanta News First.
There you go.
At autopsy, post-mortem toxicology revealed negative results for the requisite treatment medications in his bloodstream. The lack of medication in his bloodstream at autopsy is objective evidence that the severe mental illness suffered by Mr. Thompson, Shanita, was not being medically treated at the time of his death. Untreated schizophrenia can lead to psychotic decompensation. He's trying to explain it medically to us what was the cause of death. And just in a minute, I know Attorney Harper is going to go deeper in that.
Good ass video, cut.
The interactions of Mr. Thompson's caregivers are directly related to his death. Therefore, the cause of death should be listed as complications due to severe neglect, with the contributing cause stated as untreated decompensated schizophrenia. Really what Dr. Mitchell is articulating in the autopsy is what we in the legal profession will define as criminal negligence.
It's enough that the bed bugs and lice sat there and ate my brother to death, but the neglect hurts me the most. That in 2023, that we'll see people leave people, let them torture, let them rot in a cell. That hurts me the most. These images all over the internet, all over the media, it's disturbing, it's horrific, and it's a big impact on my family. I have another brother, and seeing these images and going through this as a family sent him into a mental breakdown.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Dang, get that pain back to your word.
It's hard for me and my family. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank everybody that's standing with us. It lets us know that we're not alone. We're asking to speak to the governor. We hope that we will talk to the governor. He will give us some type of insight on what's going on in his state to help us help other people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get on your job.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let him get hooked by the NOI. Drugs mean something. them brothers right there, they actually mean it. Get off the crop.
So yeah, so we called it. They neglected that brother. That whole goddamn jail needs to be shut down.
Man, Crump needs to stop hugging people and just let the Nation of Islam hand out hugs and confidence.
If Crump is there, you know they get in the bag.
Crump over there, just it's all right, brother. Fuck no, get off me, motherfucking arrange his visit. You know what I mean? Like Crump could get it done. He can hold the governor accountable. He could make a scene. He could do that.
And the voters of Georgia could make a scene too.
That shit is foul. You got a grown man. That is a grown man about to cry again.
Yeah.
You already shed a tear. One tear.
Real
is gonna lead to like 80 tears.
Real tears. Because when black people cry, we actually cry.
Real tears. They actually shed tears and they really come out of our face. Fucking white people cry like I can't do it because I'm off camera. Y'all see my face earlier. Just sitting there watching that scene, I had real tears. You know what I mean? But white people go, he raped me. He chased me down the block. He put my Amazon package. I'm not on the step, but in the grass.
Stupid.
And I just couldn't handle it.
Because white tears matter.
White tears, white lies. Can't you see the pain in my face? No, bitch, again. That's how white people start crying and making their mushy faces.
Oh,
it's
God.
like, why are you mushing up your face? You're mushing up your face for no goddamn reason. Ooh. Are you talking about the thing I talked about with Jerry Springer?
No.
Damn, man. Damn. Okay, go carry on.
All right, so our hearts and prayers and our prayers go out to the family of Lashawn Thompson.
I didn't make that basket.
Their family member died a terrible death.
Horrible death, but that's neglect. They neglected him.
And they should be held accountable for it.
And the other brother had a meltdown. That's harms there. That's added harms, family.
Mm-hmm.
Added harms. Just racking up. I'm just taking lists. Just making lists. Added harms. Added harms.
His brother was literally eaten alive by bedbugs and other insects in a jail cell.
It's terrible.
Yeah, so thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family.
Can't say thoughts
and
baby.
We
can't say thoughts.
pray that they get justice, and those that were responsible for his death are held accountable. Meaning the Fulton County Sheriff's Department.
This is your show.
These are clips, baby. I was redoing the queue. Where is the full screen on this?
We already covered this.
No, we did not.
Is this the next one?
No.
It's enough that the bed bugs and lice sat there and ate my brother.
Yeah. So the next topic is the Democrats target Ice Cube over telling the truth about the Democratic Party in Blacc America. So they're trying to paint our brother Ice Cube as a Trumpster. Meaning so shout out to TD Hip Hop. If you haven't subscribed to TD Hip Hop, please do. Oh man,
it's like wonderful little breeze going.
There's no sound.
Huh?
There's no sound.
In my text message, you know. Just not like, you know, that kind of rookie mistake that I just made. You got to unsubscribe for that. AB Promotion said he unsubscribed, and you got to unsubscribe to this. Oh wow, that was such a rookie move that I made there. Dang, that was a rookie move. Well, I'll have to edit all that part out. So now we'll start this over again. Take two. Good thing for the editing thing in YouTube where I could actually remove this part out. So let's go. Take two. We'll try it again. Thank you all for joining me today. We're here. We're live. If you all can hear me clearly, which I believe you can now, just drop a 1 in the live chat. And if I don't sound too loud, please let me know if I sound a little bit too loud, which I shouldn't at this point. Blacc unsubscribe for that big link. I unsubscribed. Everybody's leaving the channel. Get that J Money. And JD Informant doubling down. He said, no jokes.
Sorry, Blacc, I got a fast.
Is what I call them, was out in full force, right, in their attempts to do a cleanup job, basically for Black Americans that are in a sunken place, blindly voting Democrat year after year just to get nothing
Yeah,
in return for their vote. And I think I'll show you right now when I say that the Kamala Harris Brigade. I can actually pull that up for you. I want to show you guys exactly who I'm talking about. Hopefully, I have it bookmarked, which I should. Now, let me show you guys the Kamala Harris Brigade. I'm on Twitter right now. ADOS is trending. I haven't seen that trending in a while, so that's interesting. But I don't have time to click on that, unfortunately, to see what's going on. But let me show you the Kamala Harris Brigade. Right? I think you guys will find this humorous. Here we go. Share the screen. And I think you all will know most of them as well. But here's the Kamala Harris Brigade. How many of you are familiar with these people that are on your screen right now? Are you familiar with them? This is the Kamala Harris Brigade. They were out in full force, and it wasn't just them, right? It wasn't just them. It was more than just them, than these five. But like, I think we're all familiar with the Kamala Harris Brigade right here. They were out in full force, coming out against Ice Cube. Yeah, man. So they were pretty upset, right? But now what I want to do, all jokes aside, I actually want to take a moment to play what Ice Cube actually had to say. Let's listen to what he said and what he spoke on the Full Send podcast, and then we'll get back into the discussion. So let me pull that up for you right now.
I want to ask about was like in the 2020 when you kind of supported Trump and stuff like that. What did you think about, like, because you're Hollywood, there's a lot of like propaganda and stuff like that. What was that like getting flack for that?
I mean, I never supported Trump.
Right. Right.
I never asked to speak to the Republicans or the Democrats. I created a document called The Contract with Blacc America that spelled out a lot of different issues that we believe were the reason why it was so much unrest after George Floyd was killed. And I released the document, and everybody wanted to talk to me. The Republicans asked to talk to me, and the Democrats. I went to talk to both of them about the contract. The Republicans asked, could they implement some things from the contract into their proposal? And I said the document was open for anybody to use in any way they desired. So if they just want to use it as educational purposes, they could. They wanted to add more paragraphs or more ideas to it, they could. They wanted to use it to get a law change, they could. So I didn't mind them using it. I met with the Democrats. The Democrats said, we like 90% of what's in there, and we'll talk to you after the election about it.
There's like a stigma amongst like the African American community to like Republicans and stuff like that.
Now, here's what really sent everybody through the roof is when he responds to this. So my apologies for interrupting. Let me start his question over again. This is what really had the Democrats on Twitter, the Black Democrats, and the Kamala Harris Brigade going crazy
after the election about it.
There's like a stigma amongst like the African American community to like Republicans and stuff like that.
I don't know what's going on in the African American community when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Like, Black people have supported Democrats, overwhelmingly for 50, 60 years. And nothing has changed. So something's got to change.
Now tell me, did he say anything wrong?
No.
What did Ice Cube say that was actually wrong? What did he say that was incorrect? What did he say that was, I don't know, unintelligent, nonsensical? What did he say that wasn't true or factual? Everything he said was spot on. And the thing that kills me the most is that It is amazing, right? And yes, some of you are saying that's all he said. That's literally all he said. If you're wondering why he was trending, I'm sure some of you saw he was trending on Twitter. If you're wondering why he was trending for like 2 days straight, that's literally all he said, and they were going crazy. And I see the comments coming in. He didn't say anything wrong. All factual. He didn't say anything wrong. But one of the things that kills me the most is that when it comes to the Black people, right, in America, Black Americans, it's amazing how much of a crime it is to tell Black people in America to consider thinking differently.
Right.
When you say something like that, to consider thinking differently as it pertains to politics, it's as if you've told Black folks the most egregious thing in the world. And if you're listening to Cube and you look at his approach, he's not telling anybody to go either way. He's actually showing us the correct way to do it. You come up with your plan, your Black agenda, you present it to both parties, and whichever one bites or says they'll implement it, that most likely will be the way that you'll go to vote, based off whichever party says that I'm going to support your agenda, or I'll implement it, or I'll implement parts of it, right? That's actually what makes logical sense. It makes logical sense to approach politics that way. Right. But if you tell Black people that, it's as if you said something completely insane. It's insane to say something like that, because Black people are just supposed to be, one-dimensional thinkers, one-track minded. It's Democrat or bust. And the reality is that we've been busting. Pause. I'm not from New York, but I thought about that. But from the basketball sense, from an NBA sense, when they say championship or bust, right? We've been busted, right? In all seriousness, since 1964, man. Since 1964. And shout out to Bronze to God for the support. Thank you very much, Bronze to God, for the super chat. I appreciate all the support that you all send me to this channel. I truly do. It's deeply appreciated. It is humbling. But we've been failing in that regard, right? Since 1964. 1964 was when this vote blue, no matter who nonsense began with Black Americans. So from 1964 to 2002 to the now upcoming 2024 elections, that will be 60 years of voting blue, no matter who. It'll be 60 years of that nonsense. We literally, follow me, we are literally sitting on 60 years, over a half a century of evidence proving that the vote blue, no matter who strategy was a failure of epic proportions, right? We're sitting on 60 years of evidence. And the Democrats look at the Black community, based off of having this type of evidence, but we keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. The Democrats look at the Black community, if we're being honest, as well-trained dogs who are faithful to their masters to a fault. And because we operate, as well-trained dogs, then why do anything for Black Americans if they're just going to vote for us anyways? That's the mindset of the Democrats, right? They operate knowing good and well that we're not going to do anything for you. And they never do. They never do anything for us. They operate knowing full well that they won't do anything for us. They'll entertain us, right? They'll sit there and shout out a couple of statistics concerning disparities, right? They'll humor you. They'll humor us. But they themselves operate knowing they're not going to do anything for us, because we refuse to think differently and consider different options or different approach or different strategy. Because like I said, if you tell Black people to think differently and to just consider certain things or consider different things, that's criminal. Something's wrong with you, right? You're idiotic, apparently, if you do that. And what I want to do, right, is that I want to take a moment now to prove the point. I want to prove the point that the Democrats do absolutely nothing for Black Americans, right? I want to prove that, because I don't like to just talk just to be talking. I like to prove that what I'm saying is true, right? But first, before we get into all that, There's 573 of you all in here. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Please smash the like button. There's 573 of you all in here right now. Please hit the like button for me, please. Hit the share button. Share this video on your social media platforms. And also, if you're new to the channel watching right now, please hit the subscribe button as well. Hit the bell notification next to the subscribe button. Thank you very much, Roderick Jackson, for your support to the channel, and also for being a channel member as well. Roderick said, I agree with Ice Cube. Positionally and by all measures criteria, we haven't benefited or improved. We haven't. We haven't at all, right? You know, but the first thing I want to do really quick before I get into the evidence that we haven't benefited at all and that nobody can show you this benefit that's come out of voting no matter who. Before we get into that, I do want to address really quick the whole situation surrounding the Biden administration never reaching back out to Ice Cube. I want to touch on that.
I made a tweet about that. I never heard that from Jim Crow biting.
You know, what I call the Kamala Harris brigade, right? You know, and all those like them. What they like to do is that they like to point out a fact that some people don't know, right? Because this news kind of went over people's heads for some reason, is that Kamala Harris actually did reach out to Ice Cube. Right, she reached out to him like back in October of 2020. It was like maybe like a month before the actual election. She reached out to him, and Ice Cube declined to speak with Kamala Harris. You know, but why? Why did he do that? Why would he decline to speak with Kamala Harris about the contract with Blacc America? And that's what I want to get into right now, because I want to put that to bed, because he had very good reason to turn down the Kamala Harris invitation, and here's why. Ice Cube explains why he blew off a Zoom call with Kamala Harris. I want to get things done. As a direct quote from Ice Cube, I want to get things done, right? So now let's go down to this highlighted portion here. The NWA rapper and actor recently revealed on Fox Soul's Cocktails with Queens that features Claudia Jordan, Vivica A. Fox, Lisa Ray McCoy, and Miss Johnson, I can't pronounce her first name, but it doesn't matter, that he turned down a request by the California senator to be part of a Zoom call because he did not want to be lumped in with other entertainers and passed on the offer. So we're going to get into more details, but they were trying to lump him in. Kamala wanted to lump Ice Cube in to a Zoom call, right? A panel with multiple other entertainers. Okay, so now we're going to get into actual some quotes here. So this comes from what's her name, Claudia Jordan, right? So she asked Ice Cube, Kamala Harris folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on this Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. Why did you choose not to participate in that? Jordan asked. Now here's Ice Cube's response. Excuse me. We had spent a lot of people's time putting the contract with Blacc America together. And I just thought that getting on a Zoom call with 12 other entertainers, all shooting what they believe needs to be done, to me, wasn't going to be productive, Cube said. And it wasn't. There wasn't going to be anything productive about that at all. Being on a Zoom call with a bunch of other random entertainers. It wasn't going to be productive at all, right? It was going to be something nonsensical. And thank you very much, TS 175 for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate the support. And also thank you very much, Sankofa, for the cash app. Thank you all for the support. It's deeply appreciated. It truly is. But there was no reason for him to get on a nonsensical call like that. Now, but let's get into who else was going to be on the panel with Ice Cube, right? Because this is nonsensical. Ice Cube took a lot of time to put together this contract with Blacc America with a lot of very important people, highly respected people, intellectuals, scholars, professors, doctors, so on and so forth. This isn't something that he just typed up on his own and said, here we go, right? He didn't just put it through Chat GPT, right? It took time to curate this, right? And this notion that now you're going to have me come on a silly panel with, you know, other entertainers is completely ridiculous to talk about something that's as important as this, right? So, oh my God, all these little thingies are in the way now. So let's read what this says here. And also, there are 683 of you all in the live stream right now. Please, I'm just going to refresh the page. This is really annoying, all those things on the screen. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. There are 683 or 692 in you of 692 of you in here right now. Please hit the like button if you have not already. Please hit the like button. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also, please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, right? And you're not subscribed already, okay? Please do that as well. Now, here's who was on the panel. This is the nonsense that they want Ice Cube to participate in, right? Ice Cube proceeded to detail a conversation he had with Representative Cedric Richmond, in which he was told to wait his turn. Richmond contested that narrative on Monday, but Ice Cube persisted in his version of events. And here's Cedric Richmond, if you all don't know who he is. Am I spelling his name right? I don't know. Here we go. This is Cedric Richmond. So many of you all know who he is. And if I remember correctly, at the time, during the election, Cedric Richmond was one of Joe Biden's advisors, right? You know, during a campaign, you know, like Joe Biden and anybody running for president, they have numerous, you know, so-called advisors, you know, and Cedric Richmond was one of his advisors. He was on the team like up until like maybe and I'll tell you right now, I don't believe Cedric Richmond's side of the story. He's saying that things didn't really transpire the way
That works. Mm.
Nothing else. Like that. Oh, that hurt.
Let's play this before.
Maybe I
That's already. Oh, the end of the show. Can't hear him.
baby. I wonder if the deaf people are telling translators. They're telling people to lie and waste their time. That'd be a rip.
No, they're just repeating everything she's saying. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
What she
Nothing.
Zero. Nothing. We still wait on you Biden supporters. Biden to tell us what tangible we're going to get from the Biden administration. Mm-hmm.
I think because at this moment, right? They you don't agree with them or they're not in alignment, they would focus on that. You know?
Right. Everything we've been stressing Front Line Blacc knows since our inception. Oh man. I'm sorry, Black Phil.
We're in like infinite struggles and most huh. That's really patchy.
Yeah. Oh Lord, not the Tiffany Cross interview.
It says black cotton like tomatoes. Anywhere like even in our
state.
Yeah, in our state, like the motherfuckers are black. Like I'm so I can't wait to do the RV when I talk about the fucking CW or whatever the fuck it is.
Daryl Watson.
What? Dude,
Mike Johnson.
that's his name. Supports to anybody.
Yeah. What?
Oh.
Black woman.
Black women.
The link. One black woman. I remember after all.
I'm one that's like, what the fuck, man? Like, you know, hey, you get the emails too?
Yes.
They're like, no email. You should send, but there's no content.
But there's always content like that. Yes.
Traditional black culture.
That's black shit.
I swore that before. I think I was doing something.
Black.
Oh my God. We don't need no more talks. We need fucking action. Yeah, definitely. We need all of them. I know we got this on.
I'm gonna beat it.
God, that black ass shit.
I'm gonna beat it.
No.
No, you beat it. Around that shit. Nothing.
No. He went into where I'm on the way with the king.
Like,
Talking about
bathroom conversation with booty. First of all, they ain't gonna let us in conference.
Right.
Let's be realistic. They'll let us in the building. He's stupid. Like, we're in the building. We're in the building?
Like, who did you see at the table?
Right, this back door. Listen.
Yeah, I hear it.
They're speeding through lights. With the wind. You ask me that question, I'm gonna answer it honestly. I'm like, you Colorado? I go to Jeff's building. They go back and try to write some shit up, but nothing really happens because it's an all-inclusive. That's what happens.
It isn't.
That's shit. Not even as journalism, others at the culture.
Somebody got killed.
That's a whole different sound.
Yeah, it's a slightly different song. That was a police. Vote is right. CBC is useless. Oh my god.
It's just because the people on the podcast are only black. Either black.
Right. Yeah.
Enclaves, yeah.
Huh? How silly are you?
It's very fucking stupid, man.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we watching this? We might as well watch fucking Rachel Maddow or somebody. Cross connection. That's right. It's your cross connection. Like somebody what is not happening? And then that's just yeah, that's fucked up.
That's what you said. What you're supposed to blindly. Oh man.
You'll be able to see yourself. No. Camera.
Face so happy. Myself on the other roof. Hi, you can see me. Say sorry. I like how you do me sometimes, guys. I like how you just look at it. These camera shots. You're not telling me
Oh.
camera. That's bad. Look at yourself, Philly. I was practicing off camera all day. I mean, just like sit on camera.
Really?
That was hilarious. It took like a picture.
Notice.
what I was saying. I used it, so it's there. I have it on the computer. I'm gonna use it again. It was helpful. I recommend if you didn't read it. Should not sleep on it. I even wrote Ice Cube a message, so he did not get back to me. I have the receipt for that too.
Yeah, the only way you're gonna be able to read it now is if you have it saved.
I got it saved.
If you look for
I've had it.
you cannot find it.
I've had it for a long time. It seems like I have a whole bunch of things, so just for learning purposes, you know.
It came out 3 years ago.
I have it.
4 years ago. Yeah.
Anyway, so close this out. Just do whatever we're gonna do.
I was just waiting for you to finish.
I'm done.
All right. So we're gonna do a part 2, obviously, because there's still topics we didn't get to. Tina Turner dies at 83.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about that. Young black man shot. Young black boy shot. 11-year-old shot by police in Mississippi.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Aurora Blacc man suing APD for violating his civil rights in 2021. In Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So those topics will be discussed in detail on the part 2 of season 3, episode 8 of the Front Line Blacc News. So thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Front Line Blacc News. We'll be back later on today. This is Sunday now, Memorial Day weekend. With the part 2. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe to all of our platforms, Frontline Blacc News. On Twitter, Frontline Blacc News on Facebook and YouTube, and the Revolutionary Agenda on Facebook and YouTube.
And keep it girl in prayers, because her heart has been acting up something crucial.
Yeah, so peace, yes. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. We'll be back later on today, so stay tuned. Peace.
That's for a little bit.
Okay, and so